Is Marvel Rivals unintentionally making a mistake? This video is about EOMM. Yeah, EOMM, really the hottest topic in Marvel Rivals right now, whether the game has EOMM or doesn't have EOMM. It's a very confusing, it's a very conflicting position right now, unless and until the devs come forward and clear out whether they have EOMM or not. We don't really have a solid proof. And if they don't have EOMM, guys, I think this is something that all of us can relate to. The matchmaking in this game is absolutely horrible. And if it is this horrible without EOMM, I don't know, then I think that's a much more deeper problem with how the game organizes matches, with how it's putting you against players. But yeah, today we have Flats talking about the EOMM issue. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what he has to say.
Flats, do you think the devs will change something in the matchmaking? I do not know the answer to that question, but you know what I do know? I do know one thing. I know one thing, and that one thing I know that is I'm scared. Now, if you might ask, Flats, why are you scared? I am scared because I think, unfortunately, Marvel Rivals has put itself in the worst corner possible, and I think we're cooked. Like, we're genuinely cooked. And the reason why I think we're cooked
why is that?
They acknowledged the EOMM or matchmaking and said they're going to talk about it. And granted, that should be a good thing.
Wait, so are they officially going to talk about EOMM? Okay, that's nice. I think that will help clear out a lot of people's issues with the game. I mean, at least have an idea of why the matchmaking in this game is so shit.
95 to 99% of the time is a good thing. The reason why I'm scared is because I have a feeling I know what their answer is going to be, and it's not going to be the answer people want to hear. And so, riddle me this. Let's say they come out and say EOMM is not real, and it's just matchmaking, and they stand on business. Think about
that's going to piss off a lot of people
out there that are fully convinced.
It's going to piss off a lot of people.
And that their game is being pitted against them. They all go bananas. And they start boycotting the game. They start harassing people that are playing the game. They start trying to get everyone to stop playing it. They trying to stop playing it. That is like...
that's a very extreme situation. I don't think if they go ahead and say that there is no EOMM and... they kind of have to prove it, because I think even if they go ahead and say there is no EOMM, there's going to be a specific cult of people who will still say that, okay, the game does have EOMM, but NetEase just doesn't want to admit that the game has EOMM. But if the game genuinely doesn't have EOMM, then I think the matchmaking in this game, it really needs a lot of rework, because as of right now, it's absolutely garbage. And then those EOMM people will get even more ammunition. They'll be like, oh, you don't have EOMM in your game, but even without EOMM, your matchmaking is so trash. That means that your matchmaking algorithm is just absolutely garbage, right? I think that will put NetEase in much more pressure to improve their matchmaking system. And if they just admit that it has EOMM, then it's a whole different issue. Then I guess we will have a lot of boycotts, and we'll have a lot of people crying to remove EOMM and stuff like that.
A giant potential rift in a community that can start. I saw someone say that's how it went with COD. I mean, I don't know how it went with COD long term.
COD has a lot of players.
It starts to form a massive crack. If they take it one step further and say, you have control.
COD has a lot of players divided among many games, right? So if all of those games players, like if you add up the players from each and every game, they have a huge fan base, a huge player base. So even if I think if they had a rift like this, it's probably not going to affect COD that much. It's just way too popular of a game to die from that, right? But Marvel Rivals is a different situation. We are seeing Marvel Rivals players dropping every single update. The game is not really doing as good as it was doing when it was released, which is natural. Obviously, games lose players over time, but this game is specifically losing players at quite an alarming rate. And if they create a rift like this among players, in this spot, it's gonna be like a death knell for the game, honestly.
Control over your climb. You have to be good at the game, and like good at the game is, you know. What that means is like you're gonna have a game where you drop 400 kills and you lose. That happens. But if you're dropping 400 kills every game and losing every game, I don't believe you. I genuinely don't. And so If someone wants to disprove that, by the way, we should make a like.
I think this is not really like a solid argument here, because 400 kills is like too much. But let's say you getting 40-50 kills in a game, right, as a DPS, and you're still losing. I think at that point, it's not just your fault, it's the fault of the entire game, because then the entire game was not playing objective properly, and getting 40-50 kills every single game is just not possible. No matter how good of a player you are, we see even like amazing players like Necros, like this, they just don't get consistent number of kills every single game, right? It's just not possible, because in this game, it's not like Call of Duty, right? It's not like any other shooter game where you can just go ahead and do whatever random shit you want and get kills. In this game, in order to get kills, you need to have support from your teammates. You need to like play together with your team, right? Your team has to be supporting you, your team has to be following up with you, and there are also sometimes the enemies, they don't play well, so you get a lot of kills. You cannot just judge like how good a player is playing based on the number of kills in this game, because once again, a lot of the times the number of kills that you're getting is not in your hands, it's in the hands of your teammates.
Like a system where if I have like, if someone like genuinely believes that they are carrying every game and can't climb because of it, I'll look at it, and if they're wrong, they owe like gifted. You know, no one would actually do it, so there's no way I could enforce it. But regardless, though, right?
I mean, it's not possible.
I don't think we could find a single soul unless they just don't play.
It's
the
just
game,
not
right?
possible.
Like they play like one game a week. Then it's like, okay, that's why you're not climbing, because you don't play it much, right? So if they stand on business and they're like, yeah, this isn't real, or no, it's not what it is, and they explain what the matchmaking is, and then they talk about how you actually do have control over your games, and they explain it, they're gonna get everyone pissed. But the opposite end. What if they do admit that matchmaking is not good? Or they say it's not EOMM, because they already said it's not EOMM, but they say that the matchmaking isn't going how we want and we'll try to do better, right? One, you now give ammo to all of those people that have been coping really hard, saying like, oh no, I can't climb because of my teammates, because that's not true. Right? Like, don't get me wrong, you're gonna have games like that. I have them too, and I have had demon lobbies, and they're funny as shit. That isn't how it always goes, though, right? Like if you're talking, you play 100 games a season, right? And those 100 games, you are not getting EOMM demons in 100 games. Like, you might get it in like on the high end 10. On the high end.
Okay, no. Yes, Flex is a very, very high elo player, right? But if you are in low elos, if you are in gold, platinum, if you are in diamond, these elo terrorist teams are so common. Like from my experience personally, 1 in 3 games, 1 in every 3 games, you're gonna get a team that is so garbage that like literally does not deserve to be in that elo, right? You will start to question how they even manage to reach that elo, and they genuinely don't have any game sense. It's impossible to carry them, and if you magically win the game, you have to literally try hard, like crazy. You have to crazy try hard, okay? You have to like be extremely sweaty to carry those games, and 1 in 3 is like a generous overestimated number, okay? Sometimes it's 1 in 4, 1 in 5, but I have noticed many times it's like 1 in 3. If you win 3 games in a row, then you're like third game or 4th game, it's gonna be these kinds of elo terrorists normally. And it reduces obviously as you go higher elo, if you reach his elo, because at that elo people generally don't want to lose, right? Nobody wants to D-rank. But yeah, if you are in diamond, if you are in plat, then these teams are way more common, way common.
Right. And so like it will happen sometimes, but like most matchmakers try to get you to a 50-50 win rate in the correct rank, right? Like you win 50% of your games and lose 50% of the games, so you're in the correct rank. The problem though with Rivals is Rivals boosted everybody when a game came out, right? Remember season 0 to season 1 to 1.5 to 2.0? Everyone was boosted as and so everyone was like, oh my God, all these people are boosted. They're all shit. Who do you think are all the people that are complaining right now about EOMM, like for real? Not like saying like, oh, it's like a meme. The people who really complain about it are the people who got to those GM ranks, who got to those celestial ranks in season 0, 1, 1.5, 2, and they can't do it anymore because they really pulled back on how much rank they give you now for playing the game and how much you get when you rank up. So
I'm going to say something very crazy, but the quality of players I was getting in season 0 is way better than the quality of players I'm getting in season 3.5. Like, people in season 0, when the game just came out, okay, they're discovering a new game, they're playing a new game, they somehow had more game sense, they somehow knew what they were doing, and we had much less people who were actually throwing the game compared to 3.5. I don't know. The quality of players, it has drastically decreased. And right now, you will get like tons of people who are like Jeff Insta lockers, right? Just there to throw the games, right? You'll get Scarlet Witch Insta lockers, just there to throw the game. It's crazy. Like, these sorts of players, we had much less of these players in season 0. At least from my personal experience, I never came across so many toxic players in season 0 compared to season 3.5.
don't get as much, and then with the rank reset, if you fall behind on time, right, like you don't have enough time to grind, you don't get it as for free as you were getting before. So who do you think the demons are in the lobbies? Those are the demons, and those are the people that talk about the demons the most, right? The EOMM demons. So if they give them ammo and tell them, yes, you're right, our matchmaking could be better, here's what happens, okay? One of two things. One, the best case scenario that we can get out of this is they go, we're going to try to move towards a stricter skill-based matchmaking. And then the games become sweaty as every single time, and you become Overwatch. Just telling you. Like, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Do whatever you want. I'm just telling you how it's going to go. The opposite end is they tell you they're going to make changes, and then they make changes, but then you don't feel them. And then you enrage them even more because you've already given them like a little bit of a treat. You know, you kind of rewarded them a little bit for the bad behavior. We're like, hey, listen, you know, take this little treat. You know, we'll fix it later. You know, and then they're expecting another treat and they're not getting it, and they go like ballistic. You know, so that's the fear. That's the fear at the moment, because then it's like, well, you said you're gonna fix it and you didn't fix it. You know, so
obviously that's going to annoy so many people.
That kicks the can further down the road, though. Like, if you just want to like deal with it later, you know what I mean? That's probably the best option. You know, if I had to choose an option, I'm probably choosing that option because, like, you know.
Honestly, in my opinion, if they just bring back the rank system as it was in season 0, I don't think a lot of people will be complaining. I didn't have any problems with the rank system in season 0. I don't know who was the guy who just went ahead and started complaining. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know a single person who was complaining about season 0 ranked mechanism. So NetEase went ahead and changed the rank mode, changed everything all on their own discretion. I don't think anyone was crying about the rank system back then. And after they changed the rank system, that is when a lot of these problems started coming up. That is when a lot of people started hating on the new rank system. That is when the talks about EOMM started coming up, right? All of these problems happened after NetEase changed the rank system. So I don't really know what they did, okay? But all I know is if they just make the rank system same as it was in season 0, I think a lot of people will be much more happier with the game.
Here they come. I do so much other shit at this point. You know, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to hear about this shit for the next year. Is that actually going to happen though? Who knows? But regardless, what is the right solution? That's the best part. There is none. That's why I said we're cooked. Like, I didn't say we're cooked because, like, game's dying. Steam numbers down. Matchmaking, game dying. Like, I'm saying we're cooked because there is no answer. That's the best answer. Because
I don't know. I mean, nobody was crying about the rank system in season 0. All they have to do is just take it back to that, whatever it was, right? People were genuinely happy with the game in season 0. And I think it was only after the rank system changed that Marvel Rivals started losing a lot of players. So people were enjoying the game in season 0. All they have to do is just go back to their roots.
because every game on the planet has been trying to discover what fair, balanced matchmaking feels like. But the only way it feels fair and balanced is if you win, or if you lose a really close game, but your teammates are all nice and you have a good time. If you get shit stomped in a game and then back-to-back shit stomps, you're gone. I'm gone. I'm tilted too. Like, I'm no better. I get tilted as shit too. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if I get back to back of EOMM demons, like I'm taking this mouse, I gotta get a carpenter to repair my wall tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, it happens to everyone. Everyone gets to the point where it's like, dude, this is annoying. So there is no perfect magic system. It doesn't exist. So that's where I think we're cooked, because it's like, what are they gonna say? I don't even know if there's a good answer, you know? And there's a third answer, right? Where they don't really say much, where they don't do much. Like, they just acknowledge it and they don't say anything, right?
That would be the worst.
Arguably bad too, because
that would be the worst.
You've not only validated to them that if they complain loud enough, they'll get something, but also said, you're not gonna do anything about it. So it's like, almost like number one, but like a nicer version of number one. That might be the best version, is if they acknowledge everything and they go, yes, we understand what you're talking about. We understand what you're talking about with matchmaking, but like, the matchmaking works. And then that's it.
Nah, like, bro, that would be so bad.
People would still interpret it that way. So
that would be so bad.
I don't know what we're cooked. That's why I said we're cooked. You know, I don't have an answer. I don't got an answer for you.
People will just say that the devs don't care then.
Strong and strong.
Yeah, but there's like weak, weaker, weakest. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like, there's not really a good answer. There's not. We're not even talking about perfect answer. There isn't even a good answer. All the answers are bad. All of them. I got nothing for you. Like, matchmaking is such a complex conversation. What if the answer was get good, but they don't want the answer get good? Get good is going to drive them insane, because the people that are screaming that the most are the people that are the loud ones, who are going to go into every comment section, go on every Reddit post, go on every Twitter post. Dude, I already saw it this morning. Dude, I didn't stream yesterday because I didn't have a camera. I had to go get a new camera, and I literally saw like a clip of Boger talking about EOMM and how it's not real, and was explaining it. And dude, all the comments are like, dude, I actually used to like this guy. Boger used to be cool until Necros got his claws in it. Oh, this guy, all he does is complain and flame people, even though they're not. Dude, you can't say anything. You can't say anything to them, because they if you disagree with them,
the Bogart hate gang is rising.
The second coming. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be careful what I say there. But like, you're the second coming of some really bad people. You know what I mean? The new culture and sentiment is either agree with me or shut the fuck up. You know? And it's like, brother, it's insane. It's insane. It's insane. So how do you find out? How do you come up with a good answer? How do you come up with the best answer? You don't. It's not possible. And you can't talk about what the best answer could potentially be, because if you disagree with them, you're like, what do you do? You know?
See, guys, Reddit is probably the worst social media right now. Okay, all the Reddit people are gonna come after me after this, but Reddit is probably the most toxic and the most like absolute garbage social media right now. I have not seen a single helpful, positive guy on Reddit in like years. Everyone out there just loves to troll. Everyone out there is just being toxic for zero reason. I think Reddit is gonna surpass X at some point in becoming the most brain dead social media out there.
Players due to their answer? Yes, it doesn't matter what their answer is though. Like, if the answer is skill issue, there's no EOMM, that's just how matchmaking works. You're gonna enrage those people. You enrage the Redditors. If you acknowledge it and be like, it's not EOMM, but we could do better with matchmaking, they're gonna expect it to be better for them. And if it doesn't get better for them, they're gonna latch onto that and be like, you promised us, you're breaking promises, how dare you? By the way, I played a game like that before where people got into that, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or they say borderline nothing, and they just barely acknowledge it. But even then, people are gonna be like, well, you're not acknowledging the true problems. Like, you guys are killing your game. Like, but the problem is the ball is rolling. If the ball never started rolling, okay, you know what I mean? One thing. But the ball started rolling. So it's like, how do you stop the ball once it's rolling? You can't. It's gonna hit something. What's it gonna hit? Is it gonna hit the town? Is it gonna clog the river? Or is it gonna hit the old grandma that's tied to a tree? You know what I mean? Like, what do you like? It's something's gonna fuck. Something's gonna. It just depends, like how bad, or how bad or how are we? You know what I mean?
No!
Who knows?
Everyone,
Maybe it'll hit a
everyone wants the old grandma to die. What?
bump and it will skip over the town. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. I don't know. But the losing streaks are definitely orchestrated. So what could it be? I'm trying to say this as respectfully as I can, but like in life, there are times where you notice trends or you notice certain things or you notice things that are off because someone pointed it out to you. If I took your entire gaming history from every game you've ever played, okay, I bet I would find similar trends in all of those games. I bet I would. Recency bias and confirmation bias are very real, okay? And I speak as someone who is very good at noticing trends. I'm very good at picking up on things. It's why I had such a career in Overwatch doing it for 5 years, right?
I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true. When this sort of loss streak and everything happens to people, and it's the first time they're playing that game, they normally blame the game. But then after some point, I think everyone just gets used to it. And everyone just accepts the fact that, yeah, the game is just like that. We cannot really do anything about it. And obviously, there's always going to be people who will continuously cry about that, right? We will still be seeing lost streak screenshots 1 year, 2 years down the road. But yeah, people will make memes of it. People will make fun of it. But at some point, everyone will just be like, yeah, it just happens in the game. You cannot really do anything about it. Everyone will just be chill. Everyone will just be normal about it. It's on normally when a game just comes out, it's new. It's at that point when people like start complaining about lost streaks and stuff. It never really happens when a game is old, when a game has matured and it has a mature player base that's been playing the game for 1 year, 2 years, right? It's a very newbie kind of problem.
Like, it's why every time I made a tier list or every time I talked about a patch, it came true like 98% of the time because I had experience and I could notice the trends as it was going, right? But like, that's different though than like, you know, somebody points out to you like something weird, like, I don't know, there's a lot of blue cars on the road today. And then you, every time you go out for the next few days, you're looking around and you're going, oh my God, there are a lot of blue cars. Like, is everyone buying blue cars all of a sudden? But it's just like, you're just noticing more blue cars because you've just been paying attention to them more. You know what I mean? And it might be in your, like in your, you've just been leaving your neighborhood and like your neighbors have a couple blue cars. And so you've been seeing your neighbors more often. You know what I mean? It happens with this too. Look at your profile. Rather, I haven't. One sec. I have someone claiming to be robbed by EOMM. And I want to see. Okay, is this you? Okay, this is you. Okay.
Oh my God,
holy
bro.
Shit, you got dominated.
Holy shit, man.
Cooked. So let's go back. So wait, you've been playing since, so what, hang on, what was that thing the other day? What was it? 47 was the amount of games that were sitting on the page before. I probably miscounted. It's probably 40 to 45. So let's say in the last 40 to 45 games, you started in Diamond 2. You won a few games, lost a few games. Also, the games you lost, I'm curious.
So is he like a tank player?
Like I wouldn't know without the VOD. You actually played well that
he's
game.
playing
that's
tank
a game
and
you probably
supports.
could have won. This game.
Oh no, he's actually.
You were kind of the EOMM demon in this game. Played Luna, Phoenix, Ultron, Strange, and Venom. 16 and 13. That's not too good. This game, you look like you did pretty good though. Yeah, you did pretty good this game. You did pretty good that game. Unfortunate. I'm assuming this game is a tilt game where you lost. So what's the times played? So this is back to back games. All of these are back to back games. So you go on a 4-game losing streak. Then you popped off this game, right? Had a nice win, and then got stuck on support. Probably tilted. And then did you get off for the night after this? No, you kept queuing. Holy shit, you kept queuing. That's kind of impressive. And unfortunately, just a couple tough games in here. I wouldn't say like you were fully EOMM demon. Like that game was pretty close. You actually, I think, probably popped off harder for that game. Yeah, like this game you did really well. Some of these games you just get kind of unlucky with. And then look at that. You get rewarded with a nice win streak. And I mean, you played well in almost all of these games. I'm assuming this one you played 13-2.
This guy's filling up with every single role. I saw him playing tank. I saw him play DPS. I saw him play support. I think this guy is being like bullied by the matchmaker to some point. Like he's being put up in teams where nobody wants to, pick support. So he's forced to support, or like nobody wants to pick tank. So he's being forced to tank. From his picks, that is what I can see, right? There is no consistent role that he's playing. He's continuously being flexible with his roles. And yeah, that's a problem in solo queue. You really cannot play one role. But every time you see he's forced into support or he's forced into tank, you know that the team is not really that good, right? Because you have some DPS insta lockers who just don't want to play tank, who don't want to play supports. So even if you are the good player, you just have to adjust to their demands and you have to go and play something like a support or something.
Unfantastic.
It's just sad.
That's a weird one. I mean, I forget what rank you're at right now, but you started at Diamond 2 and you're at
Diamond 3.
Diamond 3.
Unfortunately.
Well, hang on. Diamond 2, but you lost 2 games into it. So, like, I understand your pain. This looks, like, really up. But, like, you played 40 games and you're in the same rank. You know what I mean? Can I give you an example? I'm gonna look.
This is very common, guys. This is very common in solo queue. I think he is because he plays normally duos, trios, or sometimes 5 stacks in really high elos. He probably doesn't have to deal with all of this. But if you are in solo queue, this kind of scoreboard is so common. It's like literally extremely common, especially if you are like a tank or a support player. Because if you're like a support player, a tank player sometimes can like carry, right? Because tanks can do a lot of damage as well. If you are a support player, you really are at the mercy of your team. And these kinds of score streaks, like loss streaks, very common.
Give this 1 second, and then I'm going to give you an example of what my profile looks like. Also, by the way, this losing streak you went on, I can see where it started. You went 4-6, or sorry, 4-6 game, and you went 19-18. You
look at this team. Just look at this team. I don't know. He is just targeting this guy. Right? Flash is just talking about this guy. He's trying to point out mistakes that this guy made. But keep in mind, this is solo queue, right? Let's look at his team comp. He has what? A blade. Okay. He has a blade. Fine. Blade is fine. Goes 27-26. 27-26. Doesn't have the high skills. Dies 26 times in a game. That is the highest number of deaths in both the teams, right? And the funny shit is, he is the sole DPS of their whole game, of their whole team. They have 4 healers. For whatever fucking reason, they decided to go 4 healers. They have a Hulk, but nobody wanted to pick Namor. And the enemy was playing Namor, and look at him, he goes 63-15. They were playing Hulk Namor. And Namor with Hulk is just absolutely broken. We know that, right? He goes 63-15. Compare that to what his DPS has done. How are you supposed to carry a player like this? And if he is the sole DPS in your team, if there was another DPS who was probably playing as good as these guys, then it was understandable, right? Then it could still be a fair game. But he was the only DPS in the game and he was playing absolute dog shit, right? The enemies had 2 tanks. He probably was crying the whole game. Guys, please take a tank. Guys, please take a tank. But they were all like, no, we won't because we are solo queue players. We don't do that bullshit here. We're gonna play 4 fucking healers. And guess what this guy went? Adam Warlock. Insane. Insane. Right? Enemy was running triple comp, 2 tanks, and a DPS. What the fuck is this team comp? How are you supposed to win with this team comp. And if you are in solo queue, all you can do is just ask your teammates, right? You can ask them to maybe play something else, to maybe pick a different role. But at the end of the day, it's your teammates that are going to decide if they want to pick their role, if they want to pick that hero or not. And if they just want to throw like this, what are you supposed to do with a tank? Maybe at some point in the game, he even thought, well, okay, our DPS is absolutely bullshit. Maybe I should go ahead and play DPS myself. But if he did that, then what is going to happen to this team? This team will literally have 0 tanks. It will have 4 healers and 2 DPS, out of which 1 DPS is absolute dog shit. I don't know, bro. Flats is probably gonna say that this is this guy's mistake, right? It is his mistake somehow that he lost the game, but I can clearly see this was not his mistake. This was totally not his mistake. Look at the amount of damage he's blocked. He's blocked 60,000 damage. He has the highest amount of damage blocked in both the teams. And not only that, he also has a triple kill streak. What else do you want from a tank player? From a solo tank player, he's going against 2 different tanks. That you also have to imagine, right? Enemies have an Emma to counter his Hulk. So even when he's diving into a full team that's like built to counter Hulk, he's still playing much better than all of these guys. It's just crazy.
Actually popped off. Yeah, I hadn't even clicked on this game yet. You played really well in this game and stuck on potentially even solo tanking. I don't know, maybe they're swapped at the end. You have 4 supports. That's weird. Then you lost. You won the next game barely, and then you just ran out of gas. 1 and 2.
He went DPS. All right.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this game just a bit. Yeah.
Ran out of gas.
Let's take a look at this game. Okay. His face is in the way. I cannot really see the healing stats anyway. All right. This was I'll say this was a pretty a decent game. I won't really say that he played very bad, right? Because look at the stats. His tank ends up with 14 kills. His other tank ends up with 17 kills. And he also gets 17 kills. If you look at the enemy DPS, they have a Bucky with 18 and they have a Namor with 25. But of course, Namor has the Hulk team up. So obviously, Namor with Hulk team up ends up getting a lot of kills in any situation because the turrets are automatic and they just do so much damage, right? At this point, he was going up against Namor with Hulk team up. And in that situation, I'll say he did pretty well for his team, right? Everyone has like 8 to 10 deaths. Invis has the lowest amount of deaths. I think Invis played really well in this game, to be honest, and she deserves the MVP. But yeah, everyone has like 8 to 10 deaths, so he also had an average amount of deaths compared to the game. His damage is a little bit low, but then once again, right, he's playing Phoenix, a hit scan character, so you're obviously going to do less damage than Punisher. I don't know what the fuck Punisher was doing, alright? I have absolutely no fucking clue what this guy was doing on Punisher. He's got 11 kills and 7 deaths. Pretty bad stats, right? Even the healers have 11 kills. So basically what he was doing was, he was doing a fuck ton of damage, but he was not able to finish off anybody. And in that process, he was continuously charging the enemy healers out. That is what was happening. So that's a pretty bad play from the Punisher side. Aside from that, they also had a Thor. Now, I don't know why the fuck would anyone play Thor in Diamond. Thor is it barely works, right? And he did a lot of damage, but then again with Thor, you cannot really tank. So his team kind of got steamrolled by this thing, probably. Yeah, this thing has got 19 kills. This thing was absolutely destroying their backline, and they didn't have a single counter to Thing. They had a Punisher for Thing, I guess, to shotgun him down, but this Punisher was playing so bad, it was impossible to do anything in this situation. I'll say, according to this team, this guy played well. I won't say that he played bad, right? The whole team was throwing. Invis was playing a little bit good, right? Cloak Dagger is just broken. So maybe Cloak Dagger was also playing good, but they had a troll tank, right? A troll pick, and they had a Punisher who was absolutely throwing. If 2 people in your team are throwing, then it becomes pretty difficult with the DPS, right? Especially with someone like Phoenix, you don't really have a way to save yourself if you're being dived. He could have gone for a different character in this situation because they didn't have Wolverine, so Wolverine was open though. That's crazy. Wolverine is open, and he could have gone for some other hero like Phoenix. Probably wouldn't have worked in this situation, but according to his team comp, he did well.
And 2. Okay, not your fault. I wouldn't say that one's your fault. This one,
Yeah, not his fault.
were you stuck on support? No, you were 6 and 6 on strain.
Okay, sorry. I just all right, let's look at this gameplay, right? They have 2 tanks. Pretty nice. They have a 4-5 Iron Man. They have a 4-5 Iron Man. Let's look at the enemy team, right? They have 3 tanks. What is going on with these team comps? They have 3 tanks and they have 2 Animal Crossing healers. Oh my god, bro. What is this Coke team? They have a Jeff as a healer and they have a Rocket as a healer, not a single heal ult. And they have 1 DPS, that's Bucky, who popped off. And look at this Coke team, guys. They have 2 tanks, they have 3 DPS, and the only healer is Rocket. And he's playing tank. Could he have switched to a healer to save this game? Probably, right? But as a tank, he was doing pretty good. He's tanked the most amount of damage in both teams. I won't say he was playing bad as a tank. Emma could have switched to a healer. Any of these 3 DPSs who were throwing could have switched to healers. This guy was probably playing healer. As you can see, he has 1400 heal, right? For whatever the fucking reason, he decided that, okay, yeah, we are probably winning this game, so I have to throw. And I will go Iron Man. And he switched out from healer into Iron Man. That is crazy. So now they have 3 DPSs. 1 healer who is Rocket, whose ultimate like gets absolutely destroyed the second he puts it down. Not a defensive ult in this whole game. How are you supposed to win this? It is impossible to win this game. It is impossible. Not even flats can come and carry this game, bro. It's just impossible.
That's not like, I don't think that's totally your fault. I think this guy was your demon this game. This guy right here was probably the demon.
And this guy Nemor is also not doing any justice, right? He's also not doing any justice. He's playing Nemor without Hulk. And he definitely does not need Namor against this team. Enemy does not have any dice. Okay, they have a Hulk, and you don't need Namor to counter Hulk. So Namor was absolutely a troll pick in this team. Absolutely troll pick.
But like, you also had someone on your team that was 11 and 1 with 6 final hits. So like, you had some decent players, but I can also see that you have a guy that's on Loki. Potentially, you guys only had 1 support by the end of the game. Maybe they got tilted. Then you get a nice win back, and then the tilt just sets in by here, right?
Oh, okay. Now let's look at this game, right? Let's look at this game. Again, he has tanked the most amount of damage in both the teams, right? Enemy has a Thor and an Emma. He has an Emma and Doctor Strange. It didn't get a lot of kills. His damage is pretty low, right? But once again, he was probably the only dude who was tanking for his team. That is why he has a lot of damage blocked. Thor was probably just flanking the enemy, so he has a lot of kills. And look at his damage. He has more damage. Thor has more damage than their DPS. So obviously, this Thor was going full ham on the enemy backline, right? They have an Iron Man. The Iron Man was playing decent, right? Iron Man doesn't look like he was playing any bad. He got MVP and he probably tried his best, right? And then they have 3 healers. Pretty standard triple healer comp. But in this situation, if you look at this, they had a magic. They had a Moon Knight, right? Both of these attack the backline. And Magic is such an elo terrorist in Diamond, such an elo terrorist in Platinum, Gold, in all of these lower ranks, right? He probably went Iron Man because he was terrified of Magic. And Magic was just absolutely destroying their backline. You can see Invis has that 11 times. So she was probably being camped by Magic the whole game. Cloak and Dagger has died 6 times, 2 times. Rocket can just run away. So yeah, that's another thing. This was a very a very balanced game. I won't say that this was totally anybody on his team's fault or anybody on the enemy team's fault. But yeah, what they could have done is they could have picked someone to counter Magic, right? They could have gone for protecting the backlines. I don't think Thor is the right pick out here. They could have went Emma to counter Magic and save the backline. But yeah, they went Thor, which was a pretty bad choice. And Thor is obviously one of the worst tanks in the game objectively, right? The guy went Thor. That was probably the only guy who was trolling in this team. And apart from that, the enemy had 2 dives, so obviously they were just destroying their backline, and they did not have anyone to counter dives.
Right.
It's a decent game. I won't blame him.
Strange Mag. I don't know if I would have played some of these heroes into some of these comps. I'd have to look at like each individual game, but like realistically,
He was playing Cloak Dagger. Okay, dice 11 times. Let's look at why they have a Blade, they have a Moon Knight, they have a Scarlet Witch. Okay, they have a lot of dives, and they have a lot of backline damage. Understandable. As a healer, you die 11 times, but the enemies, they did not have a good heal comp. They had Ultron, right? Ultron, he only did 10,000 heals. So objectively speaking, they had triple heals, they had 2 DPS, and Emma as a tank. So they have the better team comp than the enemy. But I guess this was more of a very last moment gameplay that happened, and probably they lost, right? Because the team comp is much better than the enemy. This Bucky could have done better. His damage is also low, and yeah, he died a couple of times. But I guess he took Bucky because of Blade, because of Scarlet Witch. It's respectable. Squirrel Girl is obviously completely brain dead. Just works. Yeah, this was a pretty tough game. I wouldn't really blame his team comp or his teammates. They were performing decent. It's just that the enemies were a bit better. Enemies had better EPS. As you can see, Blade has went 24, right? And then they have Scarlet Witch who's 23-7. They have Moon Knight who's 19-6. He's got a 5 KO streak. That's insane. Yeah, they just had much more damage in general.
I think you just kind of get a little bit tilted on after like a tough win. It's actually happened a few times. So I can see it back here. After these really, really tough win, 2-1, you have another really good game where you lose, and then you kind of like fall off really hard after. Then same thing comes down here. What did you get further up? Where's another big one?
That's a good win.
25-5 to the 3-7. And then right here, this is always before your streaks. So you went 19-9, had a win. Then you had a 19-18 loss, which was close. Then a 19-9 win. And it's like, you're just probably burnt and cooked after those couple games. Then you get a win back. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Again, see, if you're a tank player, then I think the number of kills you're getting, it's really dependent on your team. In these games, as you can see, he has 9 assists, 5 assists. So he was probably playing healer in these games, right? And with healers, he's dying a lot. He's dying a lot probably because the enemy has a huge amount of flanks, and his team was not really going anti-flank or anything. But with healers and tanks, yeah, the amount of kills you get on a tank or on a healer, it really depends on your team. If your team is playing good, then you will notice that you're getting a lot of kills on healers and on tanks. Because objectively speaking, with healers or tanks, you're not going and soloing anyone, right? You give in a lot of damage. You keep damaging the enemy, and then your DPS is the one who finishes them off. So you get a kill, your DPS gets a kill. Like that, it works like that, right? If your DPS is playing well and you are damaging the enemy as well, you keep getting kills. But as a tank, if your DPS is not able to do damage, if the DPS is not able to finish anyone, kill anyone, then at the end of the day, as a tank, you also don't get that many kills. So it's pretty normal. If your team is playing like dog shit, you won't get that many kills on a tank.
Was this all the same night? Hang on. So you queued, where was it?
5:41
right here. So this
okay,
is at 7:32 a.m. Wait, you queue all night long. Oh my God. Holy shit, you play a ton. So this is just a rage queue. Brother, this is a rage queue. You need to hop off at some point. You just played too long. Oh my goodness. Wait, you queued all night long.
Oh, I can understand this guy's frustration, bro. This has to be so frustrating.
When did you even take a break? Right here? Would you sleep for like 5 hours? You slept for like 5 hours and then played from 4 a.m. until
oh my God
10:30 a.m. and then you finally got off.
And then he plays in the evening as well.
Yeah, this right
What
here.
is this guy doing? I want this job, bro. Whatever job he's doing, I want this.
Here though, I can tell you, it's just you queued for too long. You played way too long. Sorry, I feel bad keeping SK waiting so long.
I don't know, bro. Like, are you even supposed to say someone this? That okay, you played the game too long, that's why you're losing. I don't know, bro. Imagine NetEase says this. NetEase comes forward and says this. Oh, you're playing our game for way too long. That is why you're losing. What sort of bullshit? What sort of bullshit would that be, huh? Like, imagine the game developer saying you to not play the game, right? And Flats is saying don't play the game. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like he's a streamer, right? He plays much more than us guys. And if someone like him is saying don't play the game, it's kind of funny.
I'll give you a good example. You want to see what a healthy climb looks like? And see, I have... Hello. One second. See what a healthy climb looks like? Oh, no, you can queue. Sorry, I'm going to talk while I'm in the queue. See, I have times where I go on these losing streaks. It happens, right? Look at this.
Oh my God.
Absolutely decimated the other day. I got
this is just sad, bro.
cooked the other day. You see this? I got cooked. You know why I got cooked? Because I was playing in some insane lobbies and I'm a little bit washed at the moment because I haven't been playing that much. But then I finished off on a couple more wins. But the thing I want you to pay attention to is look at how long I play for each session. And then once the tides turn, I'm off. So like even yesterday, like I started the day losing. I started the day just losing. At some point it's gonna turn back around. It turned back around. I won a couple games, I hop off. Back here, when I went on a big win streak the other day, I was also streaming because it was like the new season, right? Oh, it doesn't actually go all the way down. You can see, I can't go all the way down. If I'm winning and I'm doing well, I keep that streak going. But the second I start losing or I'm starting to get tilted, I'm out. I pull back and I go, you know what? Hey, listen. I'm not playing that well anymore. I gotta take some time. I gotta figure it out.
I mean, it's kind of natural. If you are playing like that guy, he was playing all night. As you keep playing, right, your energy level also decreases, right? We all are humans at the end of the day. So if you are sitting in front of your screen, if you are playing, you're playing against all these sweaty enemies and you're getting average teammates, right? You're losing games that you're supposed to win. It has a mental impact on you and it also physically drains you. So you may not realize this, but eventually when you're playing 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours continuously, your performance slowly starts decreasing. And when you're at the end, like when you're after 6 hours, 7 hours of continuous gameplay, your mechanical skills, they don't remain as sharp as it was when you started the game. So it's pretty normal. And that is why I think when you're playing a game, even if you want to play, let's say you got a whole day to play, right? You should take like small breaks in between. So you play 2 hours and then you hop off the game for an hour and then you come back, you play for 2 hours again, then you hop off for an hour. Like that, what happens is you give rest to your body, you give rest to your mind, and you are much more attentive. You are much more, mechanically sharp when you're playing the games. You don't feel tired. Tiredness is a huge factor in these games. It absolutely drains you.
I can tell you don't do that. But that is definitely not EOMM. I mean, considering you're in the same rank, you have not moved. I ranked up a ton through those games, even with the loss streaks. Like I went from like GM2 to Celestial 2 through those games. So even though I have streaks of wins and losses, I'm still climbing.
All right, I guess the video is over. So my opinion, I think, this may not be EOMM. This may be a problem with the D rank system. And he didn't really talk about it in this video, but this is what I think, right? Imagine a season 1 player who is in Celestial or who is in Grandmaster. He plays the game in season 1 and then he doesn't play the game in season 2. He doesn't play the game in season 3. And in season 3.5, suddenly he's in gold, right? From his past experience, he has been in Celestial. He has been in GM. He was a very high rank player, right? Now suddenly he's in gold. Obviously, after not playing for like 2 seasons, his mechanical skills are gonna drop. But is it gonna drop to the level of a gold player? Never, right? He's probably gonna take a week or 2 to like warm up to go back to his usual skill level. And once he's back to that level, he's just gonna absolutely destroy any gold lobby. He's gonna destroy any plat lobby, right? And the problem is Marvel Rivals puts these players randomly. Sometimes you have players like these who are ex-Celestial, who are ex-GM on your team. Sometimes you have players like these on the enemy team. And the problem happens when these kinds of players show up on the enemy, and the players that you have on your team, they are not ex-Celestial, they are not ex-GM players. They are like your regular platinum players. They're like your regular diamond players, right? They ranked up from gold to diamond, and diamond is their highest rank. They cannot go up above diamond, and that is the hardest they have tried, and they have reached diamond. If you are going to put a player like this against an ex-GM player, against an ex-Celestial player, then obviously he's just going to get absolutely destroyed, right? The amount of skill difference it takes to go from diamond to GM is huge. And so even if this guy who is hard stuck in diamond tries his best, he's never going to be as good as the enemy GM player. And I've noticed this so much on my matchmaking queues, right? I was also demoted to gold, and I was getting ex-Celestial players in gold. These guys were Celestial in Season 0, Season 1, and they are playing in gold. And I was actually like shocked. I was shocked to see how good they were playing. Obviously, because they were Celestial players, right? They know the game. They know every nook and corner of the game. And I was shocked to see how good they're playing. And I was even more shocked to see that the teammates I was getting, or the enemy teammates, they are pure gold players. Like from Season 0, their highest rank is gold. From Season 0, their highest rank is plat. How is this guy going to be able to fight against an ex-GM player? How is this guy going to fight against a Celestial player? I think this is where the matchmaker in this game needs to fix. If someone has been like on a higher rank before, if someone has reached Celestial, if someone has reached GM, don't put them on teams with people who have like highest rank gold in their entire career, who have highest rank plat in their entire career, right? There are a lot of players who were in Celestial, who are in GM, and who have D-ranked to gold because they didn't play the game. Just put all of these guys together in a lobby, right? Let them play their own game. Don't put them in lobbies where people are actually low elo and are actually trying to learn the game, because then not only it makes the game much more sturdy for these players, it also makes them feel hopeless. Imagine you have an ex-Celestial Hela player on the enemy team. How are you fucking going to fight against this Hela player, right? You are going to be sniped at the spawn. And what you're gonna think that, oh, this is EOMM, I got a garbage team, my team is garbage, the enemy gets good team, which is true, the enemy got a good team, but this is not EOMM. It's just that the matchmaking has put an ex-Celestial player on the enemy team, and you just get your organic gold players whose highest elo is gold. They have never seen a Hela player like that. They will never be able to counter that player. I think this is the biggest problem in Marvel Rivals matchmaking, and if they fix this, then yeah, this whole EOMM issue, this whole thing is just gonna solve itself. And this is why I think Season 0 was really good, right? Season 0 was the first season. You're not gonna get ex-Celestial, you're not gonna get ex-Eternity player or ex-GM player in a lobby unless that guy has made a Smurf account, which is much rare in my opinion. But you're not gonna get a player like that on your lobby, right? Because the people who are actually playing good, they're already high elo, and the people you're getting on your team, the people who are on the enemy team, are similarly skilled as you. They are not ex-Celestial players who are D-ranked and now they're absolutely destroying lower lobbies. That is the problem with Marvel Rivals matchmaking. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.